Good morning, everybody. My name is Bond, and this is going to be one of my first videos on my YouTube channel. So I wanted to go ahead and do an introduction and walk around for my Flyer Intech Chase trailer. I did one about 2 years ago when I first got the trailer, and I did a Christmas edition, but there wasn't really any Christmas involved. But anyway, so this time we're going to do a live action camping video to show how I use it, how it's set up, and then to go over the modifications and improvements that I've made to the trailer. Okay, so starting off, first I want to introduce my dog Stevie. She's over there. We have 3 other puppies around the site. We have one over there. His name is Charlie, taking a nap. And then we have 2 others in the car, so they don't freak out too much with the neighbors right now. And I want to apologize if there's any wind noise. It is a little breezy out here today. So first, starting off with the front of the trailer. So this is basically just one piece aluminum construction, which is one of the highlights of the trailer because it makes it lighter to use. And since owning it, I've made quite a few improvements, starting with the front. Originally, it came with a 2-inch ball, and then I switched this out for a lock and roll hitch, and it just makes this easier to attach to the truck. So that way this just lines up with the hitch piece here, and then you lock it in, and then it has a full articulation, which makes it easier for off-road or off-grid applications. Next thing I did was I switched out the jack to a stronger jack, and it has a better wheel for moving it around. Right now we're just using the plate, but the wheel is pretty hefty. Nice improvement to the one that comes stock with the trailer as well. The camping box, this is the Craftsman box that I picked up from Lowe's. It's a little bit larger than the stock one that comes with the trailers, and I also, with the box, upgraded the battery to a lithium battery. And then with that, it's a little messy in here right now, but with that, I created my own panel to attach the charge controller and the connection for the solar, which is up on the roof. So here we have the solar inputs, charge controller, and then over here is the battery under the wires and everything. And it's very messy right now, but usually it's a lot cleaner. I kind of want to highlight the solar that's on the roof. I have 2 100-watt panels that I put together on some aluminum framing and then just attach it to the roof rack. The roof rack does come standard with the trailer as well. And then I haven't made any other modifications to the roof, and it does come stock with a Dometic air conditioner unit. Moving over to the driver's side, I haven't made any improvements or modifications yet to this side, but I am working on a design to attach some paneling or boxes for more storage because it does have limited storage on the trailer. And then this is the stock spare wheel and tire. And let's see, coming around the back, we have the awning. This is an Ironman 4x4 270 XTR 143. So it's a 270 awning, and this thing does great. It's actually been really windy since we've been here, but we anchored it down with the guidelines, and thankfully we had some good attachment points, so it's actually held down really well in the wind. I could probably put down the other legs, but right now it doesn't need it. It is a freestanding awning. And then coming back to the rear of the trailer, I'll move in here so I get less wind. I have, this model comes with barn doors. I think you can option for the ramp style door because this is the smallest model that of the Flyer series. And the other models that are larger, the Pursue does have the barn doors, and then the other 2, the Discover and the Explorer, have a ramp. But I like the barn style doors because it's easier to get in and out. The doors originally came with some netting on the side here, but it was pretty limited storage, so I took it out, added these paneling so I could add different cubbies and pouches, and then just whatever else I felt was necessary. So I just have my first aid kit, some mosquito repellent, some survival tools, and then we have Febreze because we have 4 dogs, so it does get a little musty in the trailer. And then, just I can move stuff around, take it off, add stuff as I see fit. And then kind of going into the trailer a little bit, I built, oh, so first let me start over. The trailer just comes empty, but it does come with the carpeted walls and the ceiling, and it has this flooring that's kind of like a woven flooring similar to a boat. So it's easy to clean, although it is really dirty right now, but it's easy to clean and it doesn't really take a lot to get clean, which is nice, not to put too much effort. It does come with the 2 windows on either side. And in the front has a cabinet with a shelf. And I'll get around to that in the front to show you more of the changes that I made up to the front. But I built this bed frame, which basically is just 3/4 inch plywood, and I put carpeting on it. And right now it's sitting on top of risers, bed risers, to give me storage underneath. So while we're camping, I just store all my extra stuff under here, like my luggage, toilet tent, the actual toilet if we were to use it, some other odds and ends, my vacuum, little leaf blower, basically just to maximize the storage since there's limited storage on this trailer. And then of course you can see we have basically a whole dedicated bed space, and we still have plenty of room to sit up and then hang out with the dogs if the weather gets rainy or inclement, whatever type of inclement weather, we can come in here and hang out. So now, moving on to the driver's side, right here I have my fridge plugged in, which I did actually add on to the front box. I added on the exterior a 12-volt and USB outputs or plugs because it doesn't have any exterior plugs for power. So I added that to the box, which is nice because then I could use the fridge. I don't have to have the fridge inside the trailer or in the truck. And then on the inside here, you can see where originally the trailer comes with this cabinet and the shelf, and it had also kind of swing out style doors. So which really limited my space if I had the bed fully extended, because the bed can fold up and push back, but we do have it, to sleep mode right now. So I took out the doors, the barn style doors on the cabinets. I built a shelf and then got a bunch of bins and storage compartments for all my gear. And then with that, I also added a TV, which is probably the most bougie thing I have in this trailer. My TV and my DVD player, which I basically just run off my Jackery. And then otherwise, all the stuff that we have for camping. So toiletries, snacks, flashlights, fire extinguisher, whatever else you need. And then for decor, I picked up that candle light at Camping World. It's actually one of my favorite pieces. And then I added the string lights around the top too, so that when there's when we want it to be not too much light, but just to be able to see at night, the string lights actually work out really, really well. So, and you can change the colors too, which are really cool. And so that's pretty much it for the trailer. And then we have all of our camping gear, which right now I have these 2 tables, which I love these tables because you can easily fold them up and they're really compact. So the tabletops come off, the legs, they all fold up. Everything's really easy to store in the trailer. We have my Coleman stove. We do have another cooler because the fridge I have is pretty small. I think it's only a 25 liter, 25 quart. So we do have the cooler for just extra storage, which we also put in the trailer. Camping box, and then other odds and ends that we've just taken out of the truck and out of the trailer. And I highly recommend everybody to get a wagon if you don't have one, because these things are a lifesaver. Even when just moving stuff from the truck and the trailer to the fire pit, they're nice to have. So, and then that's pretty much it. And then we have a few chairs set up around the fire pit, and just in case anyone else wants to come hang out. But this is plenty of sitting space, thankfully, for us and the dogs. And then I also have my propane fire pit in case we weren't allowed to have a firewood fire. And this is a Camp Chef fire pit. And I do have a 5-pound propane tank. And I also have a 10-pound propane tank that we use for cooking. And also the pit, just in case we just trade off depending on how much gas we need or propane we need. And that's pretty much it. And then if anyone's curious, my tow vehicle is my daily driver. So I have a Chevy Silverado. It's a 2014 LT trim, crew cab, 6.5-foot bed. And then I recently installed the soft topper over the bed, which so much better than just a tonneau cover because it gave me so much more storage. And not only that, but for the truck itself, and I won't open the doors right now, but for the truck itself, I did a rear seat delete to add more space for the dogs. Um, and then I'll do a whole nother review on the truck if anyone's interested in that. But as you can see, basically this is the entire camp setup. So storage and travel with the truck, and it pulls the trailer great. The trailer, I think by itself is about 1,600 pounds dry weight, and then you can fully load it up to 2,200 pounds, which is not a problem at all for my truck. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And thankfully, the dogs did really well this whole trip. So if anyone's interested in anything else or you want more content, please let me know. And also, shout out to my girlfriend Yesenia behind the camera. Thank you, babe. I love you too. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Just kidding. We're not done yet. So I also wanted to highlight where we are camping right now. We are currently in Pismo Beach, California. This is the North Beach Campground, and I've been here 4 years camping. The last 4 years for my birthday, because this is my birthday weekend. I love this campground. First of all, I just love how green it is, and this is a really, really great space. Not only where the campground is located, but each of the sites has plenty of room before you get to the next campsite. So I think that helps a lot with, not being too close, especially with the dogs. But I will say this campground has a ton of squirrels and or chipmunks or whatever they are, which the dogs go crazy for. So it keeps them entertained, but it also uh, definitely adds noise. But that's okay. So we're actually going to go later to go to the Pismo Beach sign. So maybe I'll post a picture if I remember and include it in here so you guys can see. And if you've never been, I definitely recommend it. This time of year, this is March, and this is the first year that it's rained consistently or been windy consistently. Normally, it's usually like high to low 60s and pretty sunny during the day, which is really nice. The site also has a walking path to the beach. So right now we are just behind the beach. There's a berm between us and the beachfront. So we do get that cool, cold air in the morning and throughout the day. But otherwise, it's really nice out, which is, perfect camping weather. And as you can see, there's a ton of trees. There's bathroom amenities, shower amenities. There's water spigots throughout the site. And unfortunately, we are kind of right next to the dumpsters this time, but that's okay. They're not too bad of a distraction or anything like that. So that's nice. So that's going to finish off the video for real this time. So if anybody would like more information, if you could please, hit me up in the comments, ask me whatever questions you have. I'm also on Instagram where I post a lot of my camping stuff. So I'll post all my info in the description, and I'll put my link to the my actual YouTube channel on here. And then if you guys could and you don't have to subscribe, but if you would like to, that'd be great too. And I'll include more content with the dogs and stuff on the next one too. But this one, I wanted to give you guys a good overview of my camp setup. So I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you next time.